That's me, trying my best to listen to this over $1 million sound system in the same room. While many view this, including myself, as something that's out of reach for the entirety of our lives, there are those with discerning taste that would argue that these are not just mere machines or technical objects, but windows into the recording studio and into the soul of the musicians who sang the songs that they love. And if you're like me, with a limited knowledge of audio and nowhere near $1 million, you can experience all of this for the mere cost of a $35 weekend ticket in Schaumburg, Illinois at AXPONA. It's all held in this one hotel. So this is the outside of the hotel. Something you'll notice, that all the windows have mattresses in them. Those are the rooms that they're not using, and so they just shove the mattresses in there. One thing hi-fi audio demands usually is a lot of space. Space to maximize sitting room, aesthetics, and the sound. Acoustic treatment can look pretty tacky, but these panels from RD Acoustics I think do a good job of dampening the sound and do a good job aesthetically. Starting at $2,000, beauty does have a cost, with some of these ranging up past $20,000 depending on size and materials. Having a listening room at AXPONA is big business, and you can see from this wall of vendors that almost every single room in the hotel is booked. The wall behind me has over 200 rooms worth of just sound stuff, and I don't think it's physically possible to visit all of the rooms and actually listen to the audio. You could maybe dip a toe in each room, but you really have to rely on the multitude of different streamers and YouTubers and Instagrammers to give you a sense of what the entire convention is like. I certainly can't cover it all myself. So I'm here at the MBL speaker room with their omnidirectional speakers. This is one of the most crowded rooms in the hotel, and I really don't want to go inside because it's going to be hot and awful. But also, I will do it for you. If there's one thing I love, it's crowded rooms that are hot. Now, all of the show is crowded, but to get this kind of foot traffic means that there's something in here that's drawing everyone in. These are MBL's Radialstrahler 101 Mark II speakers. They're unique in that they're actually omnidirectional instead of like a normal stereo with a sweet spot. They look like pawns on a chessboard or even flowers. Their omnidirectional drivers are what produce the sound in all directions. The big white part there is actually the woofer, followed by a mid-range and up on top a tweeter. These tend to sound good in most rooms, and they're worth checking out at any audio show you go to. But if omnidirectional isn't your thing, these Western Acoustics Type 2.1 speakers really caught my eye. Maybe it reminds me of Urban Outfitters a little bit, but regardless of how you interpret the looks, I felt like these sounded superb. For our test, I listened to Wicked Games, and I really like the vocals coming out of these speakers, though there's a lot of other stuff helping drive these to sound great. In last year's video, I got a lot of flack for not actually recording what $1 million sounded like. Thankfully for you, I made a completely other video with a special stereo recording. This is a special microphone that records stereo. It sounds like this. If you'd like to hear what these sound like in stereo systems, be sure to check out the links below to that video. One thing you should be prepared for if you ever visit AXPONA is being ready to walk a lot. One of the things you'll realize about being at AXPONA is there's not enough elevators, so literally everyone takes the stairs because there's no way to get up or down without waiting forever. All that walking can really have an effect on your mood, which arguably can change the nature of all the sound you're listening to. One of the dealers I spoke with, when asking for a price sheet, replied with, "Why do you want to know the cost? What does it matter?" They said. I interpreted this response as somewhat evasive, and maybe it's for one of two things. One, they're trying to assess my needs and values before putting a price on it, or two, it could be playing into the idea of scarcity and exclusivity. These Gauder Akustik Dark 240s cost $190,000, and one of their claims to fame is how they incorporate aluminum into separate rib sections to avoid resonance in the speaker. This room featured 9 of these diffusers made by Nihon Onkyo Engineering, and the total cost for them was $21,000. I'm a woodworker, and I'm a little skeptical of where that cost comes from. I will, however, say this was one of the best sounding rooms at the show to me. Hand-built in Vicenza, Italy, are the Sonus Faber Amati Supreme. Featuring a more sports car-like finish, these step away from the wood finish you see on other Sonus Fabers, like these Stradivari's, which kind of look like violins. Speakers can take many forms, and as this Redditor said, if an exercise bike in a vacuum had a mid-century modern baby, it would come out like this Treble Clef speaker. At this point you might be wondering, what even makes a good speaker? So I asked my friend Phil from Yamaha to give us some of the basics about their speakers. Welcome to the video, Phil.
Yeah, no,
and I see you have a display here for us.
I'm glad you came back. So this is Yamaha's current line of high-end hi-fi speakers. This happens to be what's called a three-way. We use two woofers right here, doubles the surface area so we get more bass response. Then you have the mid-range. Your voice falls right into this one right here. Tweeter up here is all the high frequencies.
I mean, it looks kind of simple inside once you open it up. Like, there's a lot of space in there.
Yeah, and there's a lot of math going on in here.
What is the ultimate objective of a speaker? Like, why not just have like these guys like sitting on their own without a big box around them? I don't know. Is that a weird question?
There's going to be a signal where this thing is going to resonate because this has the rubber surround and then it has a spider. And then there's a mass right here, so this moves back and forth. At some frequency, that thing is going to resonate and it's just going to. So we put it in a cabinet, and if this tries to resonate, the cabinet won't let that happen. The smoother we can keep the pressure, the better off we are, and that's why we have all these different procedures for doing stuff in there.
So at its core, a speaker really is a high-functioning pressure regulation system. Now that doesn't sound like something you'd want to put down a lot of money for, but when you look at the materials, the math, the design, and the techniques, it ends up evolving into a luxurious subculture of hi-fi audio. One thing a lot of these systems have in common is that they're incredibly massive and heavy. These YG Titan towers finished in nickel weigh 1,000 pounds per tower. On the tiny side of the spectrum, one thing I discovered last year that went viral were these T10 Bespoke earbuds. When I listened to them, I was genuinely impressed with the audio. That's phenomenal. That's really good. That's the best. I'm not BSing anybody, but that's like probably the best earbud experience I've ever had.
We're just getting started.
And I can't even hear you.
No, you can't hear.
You can also get them completely customized, and the best part is they're entirely made in-house in the USA. I think many people, including myself, who go to these shows are drawn to the line between the pursuit of perfection and what's good enough. In a lot of ways, it's the joy of the journey. And sometimes the price of the object is the feature. If it's just out of reach, you'll just want it more. I don't think you can ever really reach perfection, so it's kind of like a dog chasing a car. I'm very conflicted about whether this is a good or a bad thing, and honestly, most of us probably need some therapy. Some people love music. Other people, like myself, may take comfort in the hierarchy of worst to best items. Now this might be a little naive, but I think we come to these events to learn more about ourselves and the perception of value. So maybe there is some good to that, and understanding your place in this system. Maybe you'll come and spend $2 million, or maybe you'll get so frustrated that you realize that what you have at home is good enough. Whatever that is, I appreciate you guys coming on this whimsical journey with me and allowing me to express the narrative that I see in this experience. Hey, did you like this? Well, just leave a comment or subscribe. That'll help me to continue funding these kinds of videos and journeys that I go on. So I appreciate you guys being here. Here's a little AXPONA star for you since you made it to the end. All right, I'll see you later. Bye.